Nice. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. D-Cycle here on a riding home from work edition of D-Cycle Moto Vlogs. I know a lot of people have talked about what's gotten them into riding, but I want to go a little deeper than that. I want to share, and I'm hoping you'll share with me, the first time a motorcycle made an impression on you. Not so much to ride, whether it was positive or negative. What was the first time, how old were you, and what was the story when a motorcycle actually made an impression on you? So I'm really reaching back on this. This is probably the late 80s, early 90s. And I was probably about 9, so that would probably be the early 90s. And my uncle rode motorcycles when he was an older teenager. And one of the bikes I remember him having was a 1985 Honda Interceptor 500. You know, a zippy sport bike. I remember him just whizzing that thing down the street at my grandma's house where he lived, doing wheelies and everything. You know, he was a pretty big risk taker when he was younger. I think he even got in an accident once and broke his arm. But anyway, I remember distinctly this story because that's how much of an impression it left on me. And it was my first real experience with a motorcycle. So my family's heading over from town to my grandma's for a family function. And we get over there, and my uncle had just been riding his bike. And my mom, God love her, she's got a bad memory, and I'm kind of inheriting that from her. She forgets something at home. I don't remember what it was, like a bowl or something that she needed to bring over to my grandma. So my uncle gets this bright idea. He's like, well, I'll go get it. And he looks at me. He's like, you want to go with me? I'm like, sure. Because all I know is my uncle's got the Honda. So I go ask my mom, and I guess they're okay with it. They're just telling my uncle, you know, make sure you take care of him, make sure he wears a helmet, which I did. We go outside. My uncle throws this god-awful big full face on me, and I just look like an astronaut bouncing around. I mean, but you know, it's better than nothing. And of course, you know, this is the late 80s, early 90s, like I said, so, you know, people weren't real worried about gear and stuff at this time. So, you know, I just got shorts and probably a tank top or a t-shirt on at the time, and this big bobblehead helmet that I've got on my head. So my uncle's telling me, he's kind of prepping me for the ride a little bit. He's telling me, don't put your legs here because it'll burn. Don't do this, don't do that. Hop on the bike on this side. So I hop on when we get out into the street, and he tells me, he's like, I need you to hold on. And I'm like, okay, I certainly will. Well, I'm not holding on probably as tightly as I should have. So what does my uncle do? He just doesn't take off. He takes the hell off. And he pops a wheelie with me on the back. And I had no idea he was doing this. I had no idea it was coming. And I barely got a hold of him at the get-go. So I thought he was just going to ease his way out, right? No, he doesn't. He pulls on that throttle and front wheel goes up in the air, and I'm on the back, and I about lose him. I about let go of him because I'm not holding on as tightly as I should have, and I about fall right off the back. You know, he doesn't have a sissy bar on the back of this bike, of course, because it's a sport bike, and that's the way they are, or the way this one was, at least. And while I'm starting to feel the lean on back, like I'm like jerking to grab around his waist to hold on so I don't fall off the back of his goddamn bike. So I'm scared shitless at this point. I don't know what to think. Is my uncle going to end up killing me on the way back home and then on the way back to my grandma's house? You know, so we get out of town there in Litchfield where my grandma lives, we start heading this way toward town in the same road that I'm on right now, and he's just gunning it. And of course I'm holding on for dear life. I probably got a little bit of pee in my pants, maybe a little doo-doo, I don't know how to remember, it was a long time ago. But my God, man, that was quite the first experience for a kid on a motorcycle for the first time. Get the goddamn wheelie popped up on you with no warning. And then that, you know, he's doing probably 80 or 90 down the highway here in a 55. But I think as the ride went, I got a little bit more and more relaxed, and I thought it was really fun. So the ride back, he kind of took it easy. We didn't do no wheelies on the way back or anything, but still a little bit of speed, which was a little more fun as it went. But we got back to my grandma's house, no problems, unscathed. My uncle took good care of me. I just wish I would have got a warning about the wheelie, because I was not expecting that. And then just all of a sudden, boom! I'm looking up at the sky, barely holding on to my uncle, grabbing him by the shirt and pulling myself back up. Oh man, that could have been bad. Now my uncle still rides. He's got a Harley-Davidson, I think Street Glide, or he's got a bagger. And I've only ridden with him once or twice, but I'm hoping to ride with him a lot again. Uncle Brian, if you're watching this, we need to ride, man. But that's my story. I mean, I was never on another bike after that incident until, heck, 2 years ago. So it's been a good long time before I had really another experience with a motorcycle. You know, and you would think after learning all this that, you know, I probably should have stayed away from him, but, you know, I just got the itch the more I learned about him here lately, and I'm glad I did. I love doing this. This is a great time. And being able to motovlog while doing this is even a better time. I love making these videos for you guys. So, that said, I want to know, what is your story on your first motorcycle experience? Now again, not your first riding experience or what's got you into motorcycles, just your first experience, period. Was it something like what happened with me? Did you ride on the back of your dad's Harley when you were a kid? Or did you get on a ride with your uncle on a sport bike back when you were a kid? Maybe it clicked the switch on with you and wanted you to get started riding motorcycles. Well, let me know. Let me know your story in the comments below. I'm really anxious to hear like the first impression of a motorcycle for all you guys. That's what this channel is here for. It's to share experiences, learn from each other, and have fun while doing it. So once again, guys, thank you so much for joining the channel today. It means a ton. I'm so glad to have this community to talk motorcycles with online. And I know it's going to be a whole lot better to do it in person at the Midwest Moto Meet-Up, so make sure you RSVP your camp spot. And check that out event if you haven't yet. So if you could, please give this video a like. Leave me a comment with your story. And if you have not yet, please subscribe. It helps out the channel tremendously. I hope you guys have a nice, safe one. Make sure you always take it sleazy, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.